Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is middle of the month for April Tarot Oracle reading. And Cancer, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Cancer, we all have a little bit of that sign. If your sun sign is not Cancer, where is it in your birth chart if you have it? Whichever house it's in, that will be where this energy shows up for you. This is a timely reading, meaning that if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we do have, whoops, I have my deck upside down. We have the Hangman. All right. So the Hangman is hanging from the tree of knowledge because he wants to gain, he's upside down because he wants to gain a better perspective of what's going on so that he can make a decision about the best way to take action. And so when the aura around his head becomes bright, it means, okay, he's figured out, he's in balance and he knows what he wants to do. And so he's ready to move forward. This is for the underlying energy for the reading. And then we have for the internal forces, and Ace of Wands coming in. The aces are showing up a lot in these readings right now because of all the brand new energy with 7 planets sitting in, or 6 and 7 soon, sitting in the sign of Aries. There's a lot of energy going on in that planet, and Aries is the infant of the zodiac. We also have the new moon coming up on the 17th of April is in the sign of Aries. So there's a lot of energy. And Aries is like the infant, so it's new. And this really is unlikely to happen again in our lifetime. Probably not for generations, where all of these big planets and ones that move very slowly are changing location and all sitting together in one sign. It's almost unheard of. So it's really a special energy for moving forward right now in the new energy. So we do have the Hermit, and the Hermit is someone who's been through the dark night of the soul. So the dark night of the soul is when something happens and it really hits you hard and it has a huge effect on your energy and you're like not sure of what direction to take. And so it's taking this to another level where you go climb a mountain and you isolate yourself, and you do so that you can have be isolated from any distraction and just talk to source energy, to God, and get some divine guidance as to what moves to make next. This is through meditation and prayer. And when the lantern is full of the light of the North Star, that means that you now have the information you need, similar to this, but as I said, at a more bigger extent. So definitely there has been something that's happened that has caused you to really want to change your life. And this is a gift from the divine and from the universe collaborating to bring that energy, to give you the strength and the passion to be able to do that. And we do have the energy of the moon here. So this is talking about this energy. The moon represents illusions and hidden secrets, and also it can be a very emotional time. So this is talking about really being able to discipline your mind so that you have the freedom to move forward with what I call reckless abandon, WRECK. So it's when you use your intuition and your logic to have creative solutions on how you're going to move forward. There is a dog and a wolf howling at the moon here, and this lobster is trying to figure out, how am I going to stay on my path and go right between them so I can stay in between these two pillars and get past them without, like that he has to be willing to be vulnerable. And so sometimes this can represent the push and pull between the extremes of your domestic life and your wild side. And so it could be saying that maybe you've been a little bit too domestic and isolating a little bit too much with both the Hangman and the Hermit here. Or it could be saying that maybe you need to. Maybe you've been taking a walk on the wild side and you haven't come back. So this is talking about, it can be talking about the sun is here, the full moon and the new moon. So this is, we just had 2 eclipses, one at the end of February, one at the beginning of March. That were full moon and new moon eclipses, a solar and a lunar eclipse. These eclipse energies last for about 6 months, and they're very subtle. They're just percolating quietly on the back burner, but we look back 6 months later and we say, wow, did I ever make a lot of changes in my life? And you'll be happy that you did most of the time. And we have the Empress energy. This is saying the Empress is actually all 4 queens from the minor arcana rolled into one person. Someone who's had enough life experience that she has learned from all her mistakes, and she's been through a lot. Like to become an Empress in the tarot means that you've been there, you've done that, you have the t-shirt, you have the discernment, you've been through a lot. And this is the wheat at her feet is representing her ability to manifest at a very high level. She can generate a lot of energy and attract to her what she wants, like moth to a flame kind of energy. Because like if she decides, okay, I'm going to grow some wheat, she's going to put some plans in place. She's going to make sure she picks the best field, gets it ready, any fertilizer, pick the stones so that the equipment in the fall when she's harvesting doesn't get damaged. Just getting it really to the best of her ability, planting it at the best possible time, and then she leaves it up to the universe. Waves her magic wand, says, okay, nature, do your thing. And it more often than not works out for her. So this is talking about a generator of energy, a powerful manifester. And we have the Ace of Pentacles representing that earth element. So being able to bring that energy into matter onto the planet Earth and into your lifestyle, basically. So the pentacles do represent health, wealth, and happiness on the 3rd dimensional plane. And a big part of that is money. So it's represented by a coin. But you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want. And so this is talking about having a beautiful lifestyle because you're following this path of glory, which is your designated path. And this is the North Star energy that is in the Hermit's Lantern. So this is saying, wow, you've really been working on this energy and doing a really good job of it. This gift for passion, and now you have another ace here. So here's a lot of new energy. So it looks like in the past you may have had some sort of heartbreaking decision that you needed to make. Quite often this can be about romantic love. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes this card represents like a third-party energy. It can represent gossip and slander and harsh words, and that some sort of decision needs to be made. The swords represent the element of air. And air is your thoughts, your intelligence and your discipline of your mind. But I feel like in context with this reading, it is saying that because you went up to the mountain and, you didn't literally probably climb a mountain, but it's of that isolation energy. And it felt like climbing a mountain after having something very heavy happen that made your heart heavy. And so when you first look at this, you think, wow, there's 3 swords in this heart. And, that's horrible. How is someone ever going to be able to come back from this? But then you look again and you realize the heart is really big in context to the size of the swords. So this is more like pinpricks or maybe like, nails kind of. So maybe, this is something that a person can heal from. And that's what this energy is talking about, healing the heart and forgiveness for yourself and for others. But it's also talking sometimes about the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind. And so the subconscious mind is the thoughts that you have from the time you're a baby that you develop until you're usually around kindergarten age. And because when you're young and a baby like that, you think about everything a new baby learns. And we have so much of this Aries energy here right now, and that's the infant of the zodiac. You think in 1 year how a baby goes from totally helpless to some of them are walking, and being able to verbalize. And so this energy, when your mind is being developed at that age, it's like a sponge, so it takes in your environment and the thoughts and the way the people around you who are in charge of your care, the way they think. So this subconscious mind is heavily imprinted on us. And when we get like stressed out or we're, you know, like triggered, we tend to go back to that original thoughts that we've had. And sometimes that's not the most authentic for us. They're more the thoughts of the people who raised us than our own. We also have the unconscious mind, which is from the soul's perspective. And so a lot of people will say, yeah, I recognize I'm a human being and I have a soul. But from the soul's perspective, you are a human being, you are a soul traveling in a human body. And this is your vehicle. So the soul has needs also. So if you're not focusing, if you're only focusing on the pentacles and you're not focusing on the spiritual side of life, the soul will, the unconscious mind will start getting very loud, and it'll cause conflict, you know, in your thoughts. Then we also have the conscious mind. And the conscious mind is representing, you've been there, you just did it, you saw what happened, you have a memory of it, this is conscious. And so when these three are working together, and you can discipline them to work together by going inward and meditating and praying, then they become congruent with each other. And if they're plugged into your heart's desires, then you're going to be really following your authentic desires, and that's when all the magic happens. And I feel like that's what this card is saying. You've done a lot of inner work here to be in this position, so congratulations for that. And we also have the Page of Swords here. So the Page of Swords is talking about the energy of, this is someone who comes from families around the palace. They go and they work for the king and queen. In the old days, this would be what happened. They would work for them from around the age of 7 to 14, depending on how mature they were. And they would, their main job would be just running messages back and forth, communication throughout the palace. And so, of course, everything would be in person. These days, when this page energy comes in, sorry, my cat is... she usually just sits very nicely on my lap and purrs, but she's got happy feet in a big way. Like, she's really in a good mood here. So she can't stop circling, and her feet are going a mile a minute here. You may not be able to hear her purr because I'm wearing a noise canceling mic, but a cat's purr actually raises the vibration to a healing vibration. It can lower your blood pressure. So I figure we can all use that, and it's in the background of this reading for you. So her name is Stella, and she takes her job seriously. Sometimes when she feels like it, because she's a cat. So the Page of Swords is representing this communication coming in. And these days it could be in person, but it's more likely like it could be something that comes in the mail. It could be a phone call, a text message. Maybe you're on social media and you get messaged there, or you see an event and you go to it and then you run into someone and they have exactly the information you need. And it's, you know, also it's really good to pay attention to what's going on, even for 5 minutes a day, if you can handle it these days, with the news, what's happening in the world. Because what's happening with at the top of the pyramid with the leaders is most definitely going to affect everybody below. And so it may explain where some of your anxiety is coming from. If, you know, if you pay attention to that, then you might be, oh, okay, this is what it's about. Or you might be wondering why something's happening in your life, and then you look at the news and it's like, oh, they brought new laws in and that's why. So, or the internet has been down because of, you know, what's happening in the other countries around, that kind of energy. So we're going to start from the beginning here and go through this. So this is the what ifs. And the what ifs are like when you're saying to yourself, literally, what if I do this and they do that? And what if I don't do that? What if they do this then? Like, what if, what if, what if? And it's like, that's that, you know, that energy of your mind being caught in a loop and not being able to come to a creative solution. So this is you, how you identify with yourself, that yes, you understood that you were caught kind of in that mental energy and you wanted out, so you decided, I'm going to, maybe you went on a retreat or something like that, and you isolated yourself and you did a lot of meditation and you know, prayer and connected with source energy. And then this is about your abundance and self-worth. So on some level, you feel like there's something not quite, your intuition is saying there was something not quite right that was happening, and it was affecting your ability to be able to bring the pentacles in. So that's when the hangman, and going back and forth with this energy and really sticking with it so that you could really get your heart in congruent with your mind, and your mind working for you rather than against you. And this is when I feel like this is how you've always been, like in this Empress energy. This is talking about your communication from early life, and I think that you've always been like close to source energy, to God's energy, and it's allowed you to be in this energy. But every once in a while, maybe something happens, like this is the dark night of the soul, so it's usually something that's pretty intense that you're going through, and it knocks you off your game a little bit. But now it's talking about coming back into this energy, and this is your emotional foundation. So knowing that you deserve to have a good lifestyle, that you deserve a good life, and that you're being rewarded for staying on that path. It's not easy sometimes to be in that position and be able to hang in there and do things the right way, and remain in that strong energy. And so we have this is about your creativity, romance, and children. So there could be something around that maybe sometimes this Empress energy can represent pregnancy, and I'm just picking up this energy that there could have been a miscarriage or something like that. I'm just picking up that kind of energy, and maybe that's what the dark night of the soul was, and you were really disappointed, because this is also about your health, your daily routine, and your habits. So I feel like you have decided maybe like to take up, like really make sure that you're looking after your body in a really strong way, so that you can have another attempt to have a baby. That's, I don't know, for some people I feel that energy. You could be male or female and be still, like if there was a miscarriage that or something like that, that you are feeling it intensely. And so it doesn't have to be that, but it could also be like, even if it's like about a work-related thing, like where you really thought you were going to have the promotion and then you don't get it. Or maybe you have a business and you really thought that you were going to have a contract with a big client and it was going to change everything for you, and then it didn't happen. That something very disappointing. That would be because the Empress is sometimes said to be pregnant with possibility, but she can also represent someone who is pregnant. So we have the King of Pentacles coming in here, and this is talking about the external forces. So this is saying that there may be someone, I don't know if you are with someone already in a partnership, that could be, or if you're not, it could be, for different people, different things. But this is saying that there's a King of Pentacles that's interested in this Empress energy. And this is the external force coming in, and that might be where, this could be a business partnership, or it could be a love interest, or it could be both, right? After having a difficult time, and now someone new, you have a new relationship or a new perspective on your relationship, new passion coming in. And so the King of Pentacles is someone who is admired for their business acumen. They're really good with pentacles, being able to, like, people look up to them for that business ability and for understanding how to make shift happen when it comes to bringing your thoughts and then bringing that down into material form and then making a business out of it or making it lucrative. And this could represent the energy of banking, the banking industry. This is someone who's at the top of their game. So if it's in the banking industry, they'd be up high in the bank. This could represent financial advisors, accountants. If they are a financial advisor, accountant, they would be likely to be a partner in a well-established firm. This could be also the energy of real estate. This is the element of earth, so real estate and developers, mortgage brokers, stock brokers, that kind of energy, like someone who's really, and it could be entrepreneurs. And so this energy, there's grapes on the king's robe, And the grapes in tarot represent luxury. It's a luxurious lifestyle, because grapes are very challenging to grow and even more challenging to make money from. So if someone can do that, they're usually, it's saying, hey, this person understands lifestyle, that kind of energy. And then we have intuition. So probably this person is very good at using their intuition. And the High Priestess, she sits between these two towers. They're extremes, like opposites. And she uses her intuition to navigate all the information coming in from both sides, right? And a lot of people worry about information and, if it's misinformation or if it's, disinformation or if it's true information. And with AI, we have to be so careful with that now. And a lot of the time we have to use our intuition to look into it more. There's ways you can tell if someone's AI, and people are getting better at doing it. And I sometimes I have people questioning me in my comments. Someone thought because I was AI because I was wearing the same color shirt, and I'm like, no, it's because when I used to teach seminars and I was doing different programs, like online programs, I would wear the same, like I just change into the shirt. I like to have no sleeves because otherwise my cat's on my lap, purring away here, and I don't have the same range of motion. So I like the thumb hole so that I don't mess the reading up, because I want to take a picture of it for my thumbnail. But it's really funny. I thought that really funny because the reason I just change into this shirt to do readings, so that, and I keep the same color for the astrological readings, for the series of them, and I change the color of the thumbnails because it's hard for people to tell. It looks like, oh, I already did the middle of the month reading. But if they're a different color and you're wearing the same color shirt, quite often I'll do like 4 or 5 readings in a day, and do them all at once and then post them later. I like to be ahead of things if I can be. Sometimes it doesn't work out so well, but it's just that kind of energy. And a lot of people might be insulted, like, oh, why that you would, and I was like, yes, here's somebody who actually cares to look into it. But I can assure you this is not AI. This is me and my cat Stella. She's my co-pilot here. And yeah, so this energy is talking about, I really appreciate that when people check into the information. I feel it's important, and using your intuition is the best way to do that. Now, information on its own is not good or bad necessarily. Information is just information, it's data. And so what you do with information, now that can be a big, where the problem comes in. So this High Priestess is sitting in between these two pillars, and this one represents Jesus and this one the devil. So there can't be any more extreme than that, really. And so it's talking about, being able to tell which information is coming from where, what's valuable, what's not, and how are you going to use it to make the world a better place, so that it's a win for you, a win for the people in your family and in your community, and also a win for the universe. And so we have a position of transition, and justice is coming in. So there's something that's happened here that has caused some sort of energy here that was really disruptive in your life. And there's a lot of pentacles here. So the external forces, the justice is coming in from the spiritual realm, and then it comes down to the physical. And this also can represent a redemption from karma. Now, this figure is sitting with her foot, a right foot forward, ready to take action. And the energy is, she's wielding this sword, and the sword of justice is also a two-edged sword. It represents, like, your sign Cancer is actually ruled by the moon. So the moon energies really do affect you. And that's the kind of energy, like it's sort of double-edged, like the justice. You need to use your intuition and your logic to be able to come to creative solutions that actually solve problems. And in this instance, justice for someone who's been following their designated path and doing the best they can to be a good person. is going to have a different, justice is going to have a positive effect on their life. And well, justice is always, it's for everybody actually, but it's about getting into alignment with that energy. So when justice comes in, it affects people's lives in different ways. And this is talking about some sort of transition coming in from this justice. And then we have the King of Swords energy. So the King of Swords is much like the King of Pentacles, is someone that's really high up in where, you know, they're highly admired. This is someone who would be working as a professional, using their mind and their words. You know, the swords represent the element of air, and they also represent, you know, the sword energy, like your words, your thoughts. And so thoughts are expressed through words, whether that be on paper or if it's verbal. So this energy is talking about someone that earns their living using a lot of words. This could be politicians. You know, we have the King of Swords here. It could be a king of a country. This could be someone, a president, a prime minister, someone in the Senate, you know, someone higher up in the ministry, like a federal, you know, someone who has some clout, basically. And this also can represent the energy of the legal system. So a lot of lawyer energy. If this is a lawyer, this would be a lawyer that's a partner in a well-established firm. This energy could also be judges, Supreme Court judges, that kind of energy, lawmakers, people who are at the top that actually make the laws. This energy could represent a best-selling author, you know, being able to write something. And it could be people who speak for a living, as well as it could be the energy of possibly a social media influencer. This energy could also be, I'm just trying to think what else, a surgeon, because of the a very well-known surgeon that's very good at doing what they do on research. Someone that's doing a lot of scientists that are doing really beneficial research for the planet, and also possibly innovators, like inventors, that kind of energy. People who are thinking outside the box. My cat Stella says, I don't understand why people are always wanting, humans are always wanting to think outside the box. She says she does her best thinking in the box. You know how cats love to be in boxes. It's funny, her energy. So this is talking about the King of Swords understands that words can be used as weapons, and they can also be used to uplift people. And so that's, you know, how you use them, how you use the information that you take in, that really matters, as well as the information. And we have going on a new cycle after this new information comes in. So there is some sort of justice or legalities here playing out on some level. This is in your career and reputation. It's interesting because it's almost like this pentacle energy coming in could be, it could also be a love interest, a new love interest or something like that, because we have passion here. Or it could be having a new partner. Maybe you are an entrepreneur and you have a business, and now you someone, this King of Pentacles sees a lot of opportunity in that, and the King of Swords energy is talking about, you know, higher learning and going and making the contracts and getting everything together, that kind of energy. It could be something like that, a new someone who wants to back your idea, you know. Then we also have so this is talking about the mental prison. And so, like, sometimes when we have a lot of opportunities come in, we get in this energy where we don't know, we can't figure out what to do, which one should we take, and sometimes people will freeze. But I feel like this energy is actually talking about the past and how emotional it has been for you, that maybe in the past you've had lots of opportunities presented to you, and then maybe people have backed out at the last minute. And it could have been like really challenging for you, or partners backing out, you know, like in your personal life, that kind of energy. There's something to do with that here. But you learning to discipline your mind and be able to plug into your heart, go after your authentic desires, is allowing you to step out of this. Sometimes people get in this energy because they feel duty bound, and they feel like, well, I can't change partners in my business because we've been together this long, or my partner and I aren't getting along, but we said we were going to stay together forever, so I need to do this. And sometimes that's beneficial and sometimes it's not. So this is talking about, I feel like a lot of decisions have been made, and now this is representing walking out of this energy. And you're on a new journey now, and you are going to go forward with a disciplined mind and plugged into your authentic desires to get what you want. And this is the last sword, and she's got her right foot on land, just like the justice energy. And I feel like when this justice comes in, maybe some pentacles come in for you as well. And I still get this feeling like this King of Pentacles might have his eye on you, that kind of energy. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. So that's awesome. That's the past, the present, and the future all coming together in God's plan, and moving you forward in a really strong way that you want to move forward in. The Wheel of Fortune is actually 3 wheels turning in synchronicity, the past, the present, and the future, all coming together and bringing this, it's almost like a serendipity energy where all of a sudden things just start falling into place. And this is because this is representing, it's on one of these wheels is the Hebrew letters of the name of God, which is tetragrammaton. And a tetragrammaton is a sacred geometric symbol. And in geometria, where they assign number values to the letters, when they're put in different combinations, those combinations can add up very close to the phi ratio, which is 1.618. And so this energy is talking about the perfect order that we'll see throughout the entire universe, in the creations that God has made, and that all coming into order for you as you move into this energy. This is your spiritual needs as well as your physical coming together. Very much this energy. You've done a lot of work on yourself, a lot of healing. And so congratulations on that. It's really working out well for you. I think you're going to find that moving forward in this new cycle, that you're going to have a lot of passion and have a lot more fun, I think, more importantly. So I do hope if you're saying, no, I'm going to stop here, I don't want to know anymore, this is a good reading. It is. There's a lot of really good energy here, like really powerful energy. And so if you're leaving the reading here, thank you so much for your time and energy. Please do give it a like and comment, as it does empower me to move forward in my journey here on YouTube. It really it helps the algorithm a lot. And we're going to clarify for those of you who want further clarification here. I'm using my Oracle, Tales from the Vector, TAILS, from thevector.com is my website. And I have a gallery with all the paintings that I did for this Oracle. It's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And there's 64 paintings, and some of them are really big dragons from the future. So with a lot of detail. So it's taken me quite a few years to do it. I've been busy and just did it in my spare time. Had a lot of fun with it. And now I'm getting ready to put the information out there, but I want to play with the cards and see. I have a lot of written information, but I don't have, I haven't played with the cards as a full deck with a lot of people as of yet. So that's what I'm doing right now. I will, in the description box below, I will put the numbers of the cards. The numbers on the cards I'm using represent the paintings, how they're listed in my gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. And I will put them in the order they appear here. And then if you want to check it out, you can check it out, and it might give you further information. This is talking on, to begin, the underlying energy for the reading is the High Priestess. I'm saying use your intuition. Especially for you, Cancer, you're highly intuitive. And some people might say, oh, well, you're too sensitive. but you're not too sensitive. Don't let people tell you that. You just need to use that sensitivity, learn to use that sensitivity in a strong way, so that you're not getting mired down by the emotions, but you control it. And then that ability for you to feel so deeply really gives you the power to use your intuition in a very strong way, just like the High Priestess energy. And this is talking like, look at, there's an Emperor energy coming in. So I feel like, you know, we have two kings here, and that might represent the same person. And we have this Empress energy. And so to become an Empress, as I said, it takes a lot of, you have to go through a lot. You have to have a lot of life experience. It's not just something that just happens. And it's about staying on your path no matter what, and not giving up when you really feel like giving up sometimes. So it's attracting a very high performance energy towards you in your love life and in your partnerships. It's upgrading your energy a lot. We have the Taurus energy, which is talking about, I feel like when you were in the dark night of the soul energy, you were still really learning about the give and take in business, maybe, and also maybe in love. And so, you know, the Taurus energy is the second of all the 12 horoscope signs. And so it's like the toddler after the infant energy coming in. And right now, with so many planets having moved into the sign of Aries, there's a lot of like new energy coming in, and it's hard to sometimes understand, like the way we did things before isn't working the same way. So it's being like open-minded and being able to get into that energy. Taurus energy can sometimes be a little bit stubborn. So it's talking, I feel like you've really learned to open that energy up and really look at what is it your authentic desires really want, and how can you discipline your mind through doing a lot of inner work and being able to control that emotion and have it work for you. Really powerful energy. You've done a really good job. And this is a really good attitude. So congratulations on that as well. Your attitude will, you know, get you everywhere. So you could wish upon a star, and then you might be like, what? I wished upon the star. Why didn't everything fall in my lap? This is saying you need to have a good attitude. And you know, if you want to have a strong outcome in your future, you have to participate in it. You can't just sit there and wait for shit to happen for you. And then we have dissension. So there was some sort of energy, I feel, that you really felt, an energy of maybe some of your friends you found out weren't as friendly as you thought they were. You felt like you were swimming with sharks. There was a lot of energy going on. I feel like you had a heartbreaking decision to make. There was some sort of maybe this can sometimes represent that someone was cheating, that kind of energy. And maybe you just didn't feel like you were supported by your friends and family and felt really isolated. And so, but that it's good to remember that sometimes rejection is actually God's protection. And also I want to point out that when the horoscope signs come up, I'm not thinking of these signs as an individual. I'm looking at the energy of the sign. So what can we learn from the Taurus energy? We all have most of the signs in our chart when we're born. And so we can benefit from learning about each of the signs, and they all have their strengths and weaknesses. Now, in your own individual reading here, looking at this, you might say, no, it was a Taurus. And that might be true for you. Use your intuition around that. I just want you to understand that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying let's learn from the energy coming in. We have the All-Star here. So this is about using the chakra, your insight. So making sure that you use your third eye energy, so you're not just using your logic and what you see, but you're also using your intuition added to your logic. And then that gives you a lot more, you know, understanding, like the high priestess here, you can decipher the information, like how should it be used, what is the most beneficial way to use this information, and do you even want to use it? Does it feel like it's a way to go for you? And being able to logically see, yep, this works for me, but my heart is saying, no, don't do it this way. You have to come to some sort of in-between creative solution for that. We have temperance. Temperance is talking about having the patience to be able to go through heartbreak, to go through all these different you know, ways of being. And a lot of people are experiencing that and are going to continue to experience that because we're in that new energy right now. We're going through a lot of new energy coming in. The astrological influences at the end of February and the beginning of March were just wild. And so a lot of people are feeling that energy. If you want to take a look at that, you can go to my new moon, full moon playlist, and I talk about, you know, did a reading for each of the signs, not just for the beginning, the middle, and the end of the month, but also for the energy of the new moon and the full moon, which is on a different playlist. And then we have the Lover's energy coming in. So this is about adoration. And this is talking about, there was some sort of energy here where something happened, basically. And yeah, I still feel like it could have had something to do with maybe a miscarriage, or it could have been a miscarriage of justice. The word miscarriage just popped into my head. Dissemination of information in the external forces. So yeah, it's kind of like elephant. What elephant? I don't see an elephant in the room. Do you see an elephant in the room? And I have come to the conclusion after doing a lot of these readings that love is blind, bottom line. That's why you need to use your third eye and your intuition as well. When we love someone, we don't really want to see the elephant in the room, so we don't. And then we have the star, which is about being on your destined path, basically following that North Star energy and being in that energy and moving forward. You know, with the innocence that the Fool has as they take that leap of faith and go on a new adventure. And then we have the Superstar energy, which is talking about harmony in our words as well as in our thoughts. And that's a transition that you're moving into. There's a lot of chakra energy here. That's probably from all the meditating you've done. And then we have Justice again, saying in your higher learning. So this is talking like if this is that lawyer legality energy, that it's coming in not just on a spiritual level, but also into the physical. And the Fool, I feel like this is talking about let go of any expectations, because when you go on this new journey, you don't want to get back in this energy. Expectations create limitations. Go with your heart energy, and you'll be in a foolhardy energy then, and you can anticipate a good energy. It's saying be careful, don't fall back in your old ways, because there's going to be a lot of new energy coming in where you don't know what to do, and it's going to remind you of when you were here, but it's different now because you've learned how to discipline your mind and plug in. And look at, then this is saying, remember, you're an Empress now. That's what it's saying. Really cool. And then we have the Judgment. So this is God's judgment. This is unfettered. I love that. It's saying again, you are, you're no longer bound by your limitations that you had before. You're in the Empress energy. You're going to come up against some challenging times, because it's challenging times on the planet right now. But this is talking about an unfettered heart. You have done a really good job of staying on your path and really healing your heart energy and moving into like being willing to be vulnerable again and take a chance on love again. And I feel like it's really working out for you in a really strong way. I really like this reading for you, Cancer. I do hope you've enjoyed it as well. Please do give it a like and comment if you have, and also consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of the channel. I would be honored. I will be back with another reading for you. That one will be for the new moon, full moon. And by then I will have a different colored shirt on. Bye for now. Okay, so that's that energy.